There's nothing like a good old Celtics-Knicks matchup from the Garden, week 1 of the NBA season, as you see Jason Tatum kicking it with his new teammate Drew Holiday right before this one. Tatum actually called Drew old because he played against T-Mac and now is playing with Tatum. Speaking of Tatum's new teammates, how about the former Knick, Kristaps Porzingis, who's now rocking that green? He had 15 points in the first quarter. His night was just getting started. Other end we go is R.J. Barrett for show, and won 2 of his 24 points. You can never forget about Tatum as Aaron Judge watches JT get to the money. It's Tatum with a deuce, and now Tatum in transition, going right past Jalen Brunson and throwing it down. The Celtics are up by 10 in the third. Look at this play from Porzingis, just going up and grabbing that one from Barrett. The Knicks, though, would fight back. It's Barrett this time, sneaking away from Porzingis and scoring. And then Emmanuel quickly wakes the Garden up with 2 big 3-pointers. This one, with under 6 minutes to go, gives the Knicks the 2-point lead. They're up 4 with under 4 minutes to go. Remember me? It's Jalen Brunson, the new maestro of Knick basketball, with the deuce. Knickerbockers up 6, but the Celtics, they've been around for quite some time now, and they know how to make winning plays. You've seen Drew Holiday with the cut. He looks like he's been playing there forever. And then how about Kristaps Porzingis with the cold-blooded 3 to cap off his big night in the Garden? He had 30 points, 8 rebounds, 4 blocks. Knicks down by 3, 80 seconds to go. That one is no good. And as Jason Tatum notches 34 points and 11 rebounds to kick off the season, it's the Celtics winning by 4 on the road. Is Brooklyn in the house? Ben Simmons looking to revitalize his career as his Nets kick off their season at home against Donovan Mitchell and the Cleveland Cavaliers. First quarter, it's Mitchell with a little "now you see me, now you don't." But Mitchell and Cleveland had to deal with the onslaught of Cam Thomas. This dude is a walking bucket. The only problem with Cam is when he gets it going, usually nobody else has it going. Cam had himself a game. More on him in a second. It's the new Cavalier, though. First things first, Max Strus lighting it up in Brooklyn. How about Strus nailing trays all over the place? He had 27 points and 12 rebounds in his Cleveland debut. You see Cam Thomas get the bucket. Third quarter, it's Strus again, barely touching the net as Cleveland double up and takes the 6-point lead. Here's Mitchell with the steal. It's D-Mitch putting the Cavs up by 10. Mitchell had himself a game. He, like Strus, also had 27 points. Not to be outdone by this dude. Cam Thomas had 24 points in the first half, 36 for the game. Mix in Mikal Bridges adding 20 and 6. The Nets are up by a deuce late in this one until Mitchell steals the rock and ties this game up at 111. Now the Nets are up by a deuce. It's Mitchell nailing the go-ahead 3-pointer with 12 seconds to go. Last chance for Brooklyn. I mentioned to you Thomas had 36. Cam needed 39. His 3 is no good. Cam Johnson's buzzer beater is also no good. And the Cavaliers hold on to win their first game of the season by 1. Arguably the most anticipated debut since LeBron James is Victor Wembanyama kicking off his NBA career at home as the San Antonio Spurs get a little Texas 2-step in against the Dallas Mavericks. You saw Wembanyama with the block, and there, ladies and gentlemen, is his first 3. How many times in Victor's career will we show you that shot? Well, it depends on how legendary his career is. I guess it's Wembanyama nailing not just 1 3 in the first quarter, but 2 against the Dallas Mavericks. He had 6 points, 3 rebounds in the first half. But the Mavs, they got a man. Remember him? His name is Luka Doncic. He looks like he's in phenomenal shape and ready to ball out. Luka holding on to his pivot. and making San Antonio look silly. Let's not forget the Mavs spent a little money this offseason as well. They re-signed Kyrie Irving. Irving had his struggles in this one, still had 22 points, 6 assists. Third quarter we go. Wembanyama starts to show a little bit of his rookiness. The turnover, the offensive foul. Wembanyama's got to leave the game, not because of Pop, but because of foul trouble. He had 4 fouls in the third. Speaking of rookies, how about Derek Lively? He's really good as well. He throws it down. We're tied at 80 in the third. It's Luka with that patented now you see me, now you don't three-pointer. Dallas up by 3. Let's go to the fourth, shall we, where Victor gets back to the court and makes an impact. The alley-oop, and then another 3 for Wembanyama. He loves to score in spurts. It's Wembanyama throwing it down. He had 15 points, 5 boards, and his NBA debut. He's got his Spurs up against Dallas. But then Luka decides to say, enough of this party. I'm now. Victor's next, but I'm now. It's Luka with the steal, the dish to Kyrie for the score. Dallas now up by 4, and it's the Don putting away the Spurs and ending this fun party for Victor. Luka with the cold-blooded 3 over Vassell. Victor in the vicinity. Doncic goes 33 points, 14 rebounds, 10 assists, a triple-double in the season opener. That's how you feeling, Luka? The Dallas Mavericks spoiled a party. They beat the Spurs 126-119. Well, we don't know how legendary this video will be or maybe won't be. It all depends on how good or how great Victor Wembanyama's career ends up being. My first few takeaways from watching Victor actually play a professional basketball game in the NBA, the first thing I thought of was, man, he looks awkward when you just see him. I mean, he's 7'4" tall. But then actually when he's dribbling the basketball, he actually doesn't look as awkward as he does when he's just standing. Like, Victor's actually a pretty smooth dribbler, which is just ridiculous for his size. And yes, like you did, I seen the footage from him overseas when he was growing up. I saw the footage from the summer league when he briefly played. I saw the footage from the preseason. Trust and believe, I've been watching a lot of Victor, but I had to see it in a regular season game. I had to see how he commands and controls the basketball, and he's pretty darn good. Again, I don't look at Dallas as a world beater on defense, but these are professional athletes. Some of these guys been there, done that on the highs of stage in the NBA. And Victor, he looked comfortable dribbling the ball. Now, actually in the post, he looked uncomfortable at times. One of the things Jason Kidd, the head coach in Dallas, did was he put my ball for life Grant Williams on him. And Grant, with him probably outweighing Victor by, 30, 40 pounds, maybe even more, Grant used his body and kind of pushed Victor out of the post area. I saw that a few times over. And then you saw Victor kind of get frustrated. That's why you saw him make a foul or 2 that I'm sure he wished he could have back. Some of those things are just going to come with time. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was pleasantly surprised to not see Greg Popovich like forcing 3 minutes in the first quarter, 3 minutes in the second. I don't know why Pop has kind of like changed his style. If this was Tim Duncan like 25 years ago, Duncan would have probably played 20 minutes. I don't care if he had no fouls. He was going to get Duncan up out of there. He was going to take his time. I don't know, maybe if the Kawhi thing left a bad taste in Pop's mouth, maybe he feels like he took it too slow with Kawhi at times. I don't know, but I love seeing Pop actually play this young bull an adequate amount of time. Victor didn't play more minutes because of foul trouble, not because of coaching and not wanting him on the court. He's clearly a difference maker. And again, he's got to figure it out offensively. He does love to take a lot of jump shots for now as he figures out his post game and his position. And not a great rebounder, by the way, not a great rebounder. But the thing I love about Victor is it's not going to take him long to figure it out defensively. See, that's the difference with him. It's going to take a lot of these young fellas time offensively to figure out their way, but they don't have that presence that Victor does defensively. Let's be clear. It doesn't get too much better than Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic when we're talking about attacking the rim. They might be the 2 best finishers at the rim non-dunkers, right? They're incredible finishers at the rim with finesse and layups and all that great stuff. I actively seen both Luka and Kyrie in spots of this basketball game choosing to go the other way when they seen Victor on one side of the painted area, which means Victor's going to have an impact. Even if he's struggling, he's going to be able to give that Spurs team something. And, man, I'm telling you, I'm looking at that San Antonio team, and I'm looking at Devin Vassell, and Keldon Johnson's been good for years now. And Jeremy Sohan is just one of those energy bunny type of guys that's starting to make a couple shots. I'm serious, man. I'm not saying the San Antonio Spurs are going to make the playoffs or anything, but I do think they're going to be a lot more competitive. And for the first time in a long time, it's not boring to watch the San Antonio Spurs on national TV. It's been boring for a very long time, and now it's not. Victor's got that franchise excited, and I like that for them. Even more excited than the back end of Tim Duncan's prime. No disrespect, but Duncan and Kawhi didn't bring out the excitement that Victor did in just game one of his career. Again, maybe this video goes in allure. The first game of Victor Wembanyama, game so great, make you want to smack your mama. Maybe it doesn't. We shall see. I'm excited to see his trajectory. I pray good health on this young brother's career. And I will say this, one thing I really love from Victor is that he really hated losing this game. And look, maybe he knew the world was watching him in his debut. Maybe he only cared about game one. The Spurs are probably going to lose a lot of games. Let's check back in and see how he feels 15, 20 games down the line when you can already see from a record standpoint, this is probably not going to be the best year for San Antonio, right? Maybe then you don't see the passion that he had in his face after his Spurs lost game one to the Mavs. But I will admit this, Victor's got a look in his eye that we don't see from a lot of rookies. It doesn't really matter if the Spurs win or lose game one of his career. They're not in playoff contention mode, win now mode. But Victor was upset. He was upset at his play, and he was really upset that Luka took over that game late. And I do think that's a great sign. I do. You know, Victor Wembanyama, one of the comparables to him is maybe like, you know, he doesn't play like Joel Embiid, but Joel Embiid, 7 foot tall. He came into the league raw, right? Joel Embiid would tell you right now he didn't come into the league with the right mentality. He would probably tell you that the moment that changed his career was when Kawhi Leonard, then playing for the Raptors, nailed that buzzer beater in the second round of the playoffs to send the Philadelphia 76ers home packing at the time. That's what sent Embiid to this MVP level. He was already a great talent coming out of Kansas, but his first few years were a crap show oftentimes, right? You know, if Joel Embiid could get a chance to play with a talent like Jimmy Butler again, I'm pretty confident he would have been taking the game 25 times more serious. I don't know what Victor is thinking. I don't know who's in his ear. He's very young. But I wonder if Victor is looking at the next couple years while he's not making a lot of money compared to the NBA, right? I wonder if his mentality is, yo, you know, Embiid wasted some years in his career. And I don't know how long Embiid's prime is going to be because he did deal with serious injuries at the beginning. I wonder if Victor's looking at this like, yo, I don't think I'm going to be playing for 15 years. My window, my prime might be 2, 3, 4 years from now versus 7, 8 years from now, like a Giannis or like a Jason Tatum, who's probably going to play for a very long time, right? So I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. And again, first game so good. Victor Wembanyama, y'all let me know your thoughts on him and what you see going forward for him. 15 points, 5 rebounds, and his debut as a San Antonio Spur. They were on the losing end of a Luka Doncic big-time fourth quarter. I'm out.
I want to salute you, homie, you know, for building your own thing and doing your own thing.
Why build theirs when I believe I can build my own?
You've already done it, or I wouldn't be here.
I'm already the only elite sports and music journalist in the game today. My goal is simple, to be the best there's ever been. So, please don't go. Make sure you subscribe and follow the journey. It truly means everything to me. I tell stories. I talk music. I cover sports. I am culture. I am FERRO.